Okay. So your question is, what is multicasting used for? Correct? So anybody remembers
Sir,
multicast IP addresses?
more than that, the actual mechanism of multicasting, because IP, yeah, because actually IP is essentially a kind of uniqueness. There is a kind of uniqueness associated with IP.
Hmm.
So when we send a packet, then there is a destination address, and that packets are going to that particular destination address.
Hmm. Right.
And
So now
broadcast
look.
also we can understand. Yeah.
So actually, multicasting is a big topic. It's not in your course, but I told you multicast addresses are used by routers, right? We only use unicast as a human being, right? As a admin or end user, whatever. We only use unicast, nothing else, right? We don't use broadcast, right? We don't use multicast, correct? But if you configure some routing protocols, when they have to send routing table updates to their neighboring routers, they use unicast, right? Some routing protocols. Some routing protocols use broadcast. Some routing protocols use multicast. Are you getting it?
Okay, sir.
So when one router has to send some routing update to its neighboring router, it will use a multicast IP address. Is it clear? Automatic. So you configure RIP, right? Do you remember we configured RIP on both the routers?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
RIP uses broadcast. 255 to RIP. Actually, RIP has got version 1 and version 2. So version 1 uses broadcast. So when RIP version 1 updates are being sent from the router to its neighboring routers, automatically destination address is 255, 255, 255, 255. This is clear? Yeah?
That is very clear, sir.
Okay, good. So now if you configure version 2, RIP version 2, it doesn't use broadcast. It uses multicast addresses, right? What is RIP version 2 multicast address? I think it is 224 dot. Can somebody Google check what is RIP version 2 multicast address? 224 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 224 dot 0 dot 0 dot 10 is used by EIGRP, right? 224 dot 0 dot 0 dot
Sorry for
5.
interrupt.
Yeah.
There's someone is waiting here.
Oh,
Give
sorry.
you a
Oh, yeah. Don't say sorry, man. I am thankful to you. Where is that someone? We are looking at RIP version 2 multicast addresses, right? Yes. Anybody Google searched? Yes. I told you EIGRP uses what? 224.0.0.10, right? OSPF uses 224.0.0.5 and 0.0.0.6. I'll explain this later on, right? But RIP uses which one? Yeah, anybody?
I think dot
224.0.0.
nine, sir.
Correct. 224.0.0.9. So this is it. And what is the exact purpose of multicasting? Now we are talking about technology, right? Not the addresses. Look at this. This server is going to relay some video, right? Got it? There are some end users here, right? Multicast is actually a group, right? It is a group. So whoever joins that group, right, will be sent that. What is unicast? See, there are maybe 100 users here, but out of that, only 20 want to watch this movie, right? That is being relayed, a video, whatever, right, from this server, right? So what will happen is it will go to the switch. So if it has to send 20 times, right? Unicast means what will happen? It will send 20 flows, right? Of the 100 devices. It will send it 20 times, right? It will send it 20 times. So bandwidth, look at it. Bandwidth is eaten 20 times, right? Like this. But that is unicast. What is broadcast? Well, if you say broadcast, then it will go to all the 100 guys. But 80 didn't want it. So it will go to also those guys, those who don't require it. Man, why are you sending it to me? I don't want it. I didn't ask for it. So therefore comes multicast. Now in multicast, what happens? These 20 guys, right? They are for multicast. I told you it's a group. So they will join the group. Understand the bigger picture. It's not in your course, all these things. These guys are going to join the multicast group, right? Only the 20 guys. Rest 80 are not going to join it, right? So now what will happen? Only one stream will be relayed from the server. You get the point? Only one stream will be relayed of that video from the server. It will go like this, and it will go to only those guys who said, yes, I want it. I have joined that multicast group. Are you getting it? Switch will give it to two people only. There are 48 ports on this, but it will go to only two people. There are 48 ports on this, right? The switch will give it to only the two guys who have joined that multicast group. You get the point? So much of bandwidth is conserved. That is the purpose of multicasting. Got it? For more than one, but not to everybody. Multicasting, right? The video will go to, it's meant for more than one, right? But not for everybody. Is the concept clear?
Sir, the concept is clear, sir. May I ask just one more question, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, this as far as the group is concerned, would you please explain this group
Mm,
generation at which level? Is it
mm.
the group is created at the level of switch by the administrator or some other level?
Of course, it has to
Yeah.
be created. We have to configure multicasting on the routers and switches,
Okay.
right? But I
Right.
said no here because now this topic is not at all in our course. But you get the
Right, sir.
point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The
It's very clear,
administrator
sir.
has to configure the switches and routers for multicasting. Otherwise, it
Right.
won't work, right?
Right, sir. Right, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Yes, anybody else? Any questions, any doubts? Actually, all
Thank you,
this
sir.
was
Thank you,
not in
sir.
our course, right? It's not in our course, but I am glad that we could manage. Okay. Okay, guys. So now yesterday we did what? We did CDP. What more? We did ping. You have that sequence, right, of topics that I am taking, right? We are not going as per Cisco, right? But end of the day, we'll be covering everything. So yesterday we did what? We did, I think, CDP, types of network or whatever, right? And so now we did ping telnet traceroute also, correct? So today I said we'll be proceeding with LLDP. Like, what was the purpose of CDP? CDP, yeah, who can tell me about CDP now? Come on. We did CDP yesterday. What is CDP and why is it used? Cisco Discovery Protocol. What is this
सब
protocol?
नेबरिंग डिवाइस के लिए आईपी एड्रेस वगैरह
Correct. So that means to discover neighboring devices, right? Correct. End result is what? To actually draw a map of our network topology, right? That means what? I'm here. I'm here. So if I give a show CDP neighbors command, this guy, I gave a command here, show CDP neighbors. So what happens? It will, man, what is this? यार ये क्या हो गया? I don't know what this is, man. Ridiculous. I wrote somewhere there, it's showing me some one and something. I don't know what to do with this. It's not even coming out of it. I'm trying to click some escape. No, I don't know. I'll close this notepad, guys, and I'll again open it, right? OneNote. One sec. OneNote. Oh, OneNote is there, man. Nothing to worry. So where am I? Am I here? But this is still there, man. Okay, I think I'll take a new page. Okay. So we said CDP. We are using it is first is it's a Cisco proprietary protocol, and it is used to draw a map of our network topology. That means how devices are connected to each other, correct? So I am on R1, I am connected to switch 1, I am also connected to R2. Then if I give a command here, show CDP neighbors. Today is day 11, CDP neighbors. So it will show me details about switch 1 and R2. Then what I can do is I can telnet into this guy and again give the same command, show CDP neighbors. So maybe it will show me about this directly connected Cisco devices, if at all, right? It is connected to, right? So then I can tell it here and I can again give a same command, show CDP neighbors. Maybe it will tell me that I am connected to switch 3 also, right? And again, I will come back, Control Shift 6X, right? Telnet, right? Telnet from R2 to switch 3. And once I am there, I can type Control plus Shift plus 6 and release all the 3. And then after that, press X. So I suspend my connection, right? I'm back again on. I was on R2. Then when I said telnet, I came on switch 3, right? And when I press this, I again come back to R2. Now if I again type resume, right? I will again go back to switch 3. It will not ask me for a password, no password. Understand these commands? Control Shift 6 is suspending the telnet connection, right? Telnet connection. And again, if I say resume that command, it will take me there only, but now it will not ask me for a password. Got it? It's like I am entering a cinema hall, right? There's a gatekeeper here. This is me coming in and I show him the ticket, right? And he allows me in. So I go and sit, right? And I again come back and tell him, man, I forgot my ticket with my wife who's sitting with me, but look at my shirt. Please note my face. I'm going out for a moment, right? And I'll come back, but I have no ticket. So, okay, he says, okay, then you can go, right? I bring my popcorns and I come back. He doesn't ask me for the ticket password. Got it? And I am in and my seat. So suspending is like this and resuming is like this. So if I tell it here, and when I am on switch 3, if I say exit or disconnect, right? Then I come back on R2. But after that, if I say telnet again switch 3, it will ask me for a password because I had created the session, I broke it. When I give the right password, then it will again take me to switch 3. Understood, guys? Suspend and that is Control Shift 6X, right? And that is suspending. And again, the command is resume. Okay, that was regarding telnet. But now we are talking about CDP. So likewise, I can go on R3 and again give a command, show CDP neighbors. So the purpose is to draw a map, right, of our network topology and hang it on the wall so that new guys come, right? He understands it's like this, right? It will be easy for him to understand by looking at the wall and the diagram rather than in the rack where there are so many devices and so many cables, right? The fresher guy, I mean, the one who's seeing this for the first time, he's confused. Man, what to do? Hundreds of cables and hundreds of devices. Which is connected to what, man? How am I going to identify? So that is CDP. Okay, so this is Cisco proprietary. And OSI reference model. Which layer does it come on? Yes, who can answer? Yes? हेलो हेलो ओएसआई रेफरेंस कौन से लेयर पे आता है सीडीपी
Layer 2.
करेक्ट लेयर 2 और लेयर 1 पे देयर इज encapsulation known as snap sub network access protocol but don't bother about this because of which CDP runs on layer 2 and this is Cisco proprietary. That means it works only on Cisco devices, correct? So now we are looking at what about non-Cisco? Because in your company, some companies may have only Cisco devices. Some companies may have only non-Cisco devices, right? Because Cisco devices are costly also, but they are good, right? Security wise and robust and can give you scalability and whatnot, right? So they're wonderful, but only for those. It's like Mercedes Benz and BMW, right? And Audi, right? So Cisco is also like very costly one. Not everybody can afford, right? So those who don't have money with those companies, right? They don't have a lot of money. They will go in for some, right? Cheaper ones. So for what about other companies, routers and switches? For other companies, they later came out with LLDP, link layer. That means data link layer. Again, discovery protocol. Yeah, similar to CDP. So if you have understood this, this is similar to it. Discovery protocol, right? So what's the difference between them? This is open standards, right? LLDP. That means it works on Cisco and non-Cisco. Any company's vendor, right? It will work. But CDP is enabled by default. LLDP is not enabled by default. You got to enable it, right? Okay. What are the CDP timers? Every how many seconds are CDP packets exchanged? So I just called it hello packets. Actually, they are CDP packets. Yes,
I think default is 60
correct.
seconds.
Every 60 seconds. And what's the hold down timer or hold timer?
Um,
That means if I do not receive any CDP packet from the neighbor, I will treat it as dead. What's that timer?
180, sir.
I
Correct.
think that must be adjustable, but yeah, 180 is there.
These are the default, right? Everything you can
Yeah.
change, don't worry, right? We are
Hmm.
only looking at the default timers right now, nothing else. Okay. Likewise, LLDP. So what was the command? CDP is enabled by default, right? On the device. What if you want to disable CDP on the device? What do you do? What's the command? And from which mode?
Show CDP neighbors.
No, I don't want to. I want to disable CDP on
Disable.
the device.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. So how do we disable it? On the device, whole device. You guys don't practice after going home? I mean,
No CDP enable, I believe.
no.
To disable, right?
Yeah. On the whole device.
Yeah.
What is the command?
Okay.
What is the command? So you have to practice
No
this, right?
no CDP run.
Correct. Bhag, Milkha Singh, Bhag, right? No CDP run. And I want to disable it on this port where a switch is connected, right? I'm talking about this R1. So I want to disable it on the switch because I don't want it to send CDP to every 60 seconds. Just an example, right? So what do I do?
Mm.
This is, let's say, gigabit 0 port, and this is gigabit 001 port. So I want to disable it on gigabit 0 port. What will I do?
So we have to go to that interface,
Yeah. So
and then
from
we
the
have
global
to
mode, I will
type.
type, yeah, interface gigabit 0/0/0. I come under
Yes.
the config dash if mode and then
Then no CDP enable.
no CDP.
Enable.
Correct.
That is
Yes,
for the
guys.
interface, I believe.
Correct. Perfect. Right. So it will stop sending CDP hellos, right? That means it will lose the connectivity with the neighbor. I mean, it will not show, but communication will happen, right? Even if you disable CDP, end-to-end communication will happen. Networking will work. Just that it will not show you that neighbor. But so now what happens is LLDP. So how do you enable LLDP? Go on the global mode and type LLDP run. What is the command here? CDP run, right? Likewise, LLDP run. And go under the interface, whatever interface, right? Gigabit 0, gigabit 1. And you got to say LLDP question mark. You will get two choice, transmit and LLDP receive. That's it. So enable sending and receiving of LLDP packets from every port, right? So go under every port and say this. So this is the only difference between LLDP and CDP. Is that clear, guys? So now let's do the lab. CDP is done yesterday only, was done yesterday only, and today let's finish LLDP. So you can take your packet tracer and start doing it on your. If you want, you can share also your screen and tell me, okay, DJ, I'm sharing my screen and have a look. I'm configuring CDP or LLDP. And everybody can share if you want, right? I'm going to open our old topology. So we have this, right? So look at this. I'm going on R1 and enable show CDP neighbors. We have seen this, right? And show CDP neighbors detail also we have seen. So apart from this information, it will show you the devices. It's showing me only R2. Why is it not showing me switch 1? Right? That is because, I don't know. It should show me because it has not received hello, I think, from the switch. So we have to wait till 60 seconds, right? Nothing else. Okay. Still not received. Still not received. CDP is enabled on the devices, nothing to worry. R1 is showing only R2. Why? Come, come, baby, come. No? Why no? We have given an IP address to this 4112 and it's up, right? So, Ajare, where are you? Oh, this is funny. I mean, I don't see any reason there, right? You get the point. It should come automatically. I don't see any reason why it is not coming. It should come. I think it is more than 60 seconds now. Okay, let us not waste any time. It could be a software issue, right? If I don't see any reason here. Except for is the cable okay? Check the cable. Similar kind of devices, crossover. Different kind of devices, straight through, right? So, nothing to worry. I think, did we disable anything from here? Show CDP neighbor. Show run. Maybe we disabled something yesterday. No, first port is okay, right? I don't see any no CDP. Config T. CDP run. Interface. Which port am I connected on? F0/1, I guess. F0/1 on the switch, right? So just to make sure, interface F0. All these things are not at all required, right? It should come automatically. CDP enable, right? So I think, did I give you a demo yesterday? Maybe I have disabled CDP on this gigabit 1 port. Maybe, I don't remember, right? Let's have a look at the show run command. Otherwise, there is no reason. No, it is not, right? Disabled. But is CDP disabled? No. Otherwise, it cannot show one neighbor, right? So R1 is also okay. I don't see any reason. Gigabit 1 port. Did we check 1 port? First port? Oh, look at this, man. Sorry. I just looked here. I forgot which port it is connected to. I presumed it was this. So look, I have disabled CDP here. So therefore, it is not showing the switch. Got it? So let's enable it. Configure terminal. Interface gigabit 001 and CDP enable. Right? Look, under the port, you have only one choice, enable. Right? And from the global mode, you have only one choice, CDP run. So it's already showing you one neighbor. So no need to give this CDP run command, right? And now let's check show CDP neighbors. Now 60 seconds, right? Wait. So we troubleshooted, right? We checked out what's wrong. Initially, I thought it could be sometimes, like it's a software issue also. Sometimes. But we know how the protocol works, so nothing to worry. So it's showing R2 only. So it should just come up within 60 seconds. So the moment it receives a CDP packet, then that packet will say, okay, this is my name, this is my port, this is my IP address, this is my iOS version. They will exchange details, right? Neighbors. Look at this, switch has come up, right? Now if I say show LLDP neighbors, it says LLDP is not enabled. So let's go and enable LLDP, right? Let's go on the global mode and say LLDP. LLDP what? Like CDP run, LLDP run, right? And let's go under the interface, gigabit 0/0/0, and say what? LLDP. Look at this. Transmit. And LLDP receive, right? I have done it. Now do show LLDP neighbors. So it's not showing me anything. Why? Why? Because I've just configured here. Let's configure it on the switch and R2 also, right? So we go on the global mode and say LLDP run. And then there's a switch. Fast Ethernet 0/1 port. LLDP T tab transmit. LLDP R tab receive. Done. Do show LLDP neighbor. Now the switch should show one neighbor. Look, it's already showing it. R1. My port, his port, routers. Right? Hold down timer. Capability that neighbor is a router. Right? Do show LLDP neighbors detail. Is there any command like this? Yes, similar to CDP. So if you know that, right, this will also be similar, right? Capability, it's a router, right? That is the iOS version of the neighbor. My port, his port, all these things are shown here, right? Neighbor's port, neighbor's name, right? All these things. Okay. Now let's go on R2 and again enable LLDP also. So that R1 can show two neighbors, right? Simple guys, we are done with CDP, we are done with LLDP. Any questions? Any doubts? Very simple. You can do it. Interface gigabit LLDP transmit and LLDP receive. Done. Do show LLDP neighbors. So R2 should show one neighbor, R1. See, my R2 says my port is this, and neighboring R1's port is also this, right? That neighbor is a router, right? And now let's go on R1 and see two LLDP neighbors. So LLDP is open standard. That's the only difference, right? See this. So now R1 has got two neighbors. One is switch 1 and the other is R2. Got it? Switch, I am connected on gigabit 1. The switch is connected on my this port. And the switch port is this one. This is how we are connected to each other. And router, my port, this goes to the router and routers, this port. So we both are connected on gigabit 0, right? We both are connected on gigabit 0. My gigabit 1 and his fast 01. Okay, guys, we are done with CDP. We are done with LLDP. Any questions? We'll go to the next topic then. If you want to try this, you can. And if you want also to share your screen, right, please let me know. Tell me that, okay, let me share my screen and I'm showing some commands. Correct me if I'm wrong, whatever, or just have a look. Anybody? Okay. So even if you don't want to share your screen and show me, that's okay. But I would request you all to at least go home and practice this, right? If you don't practice, you will not get the confidence. By looking at it, you will know, but you will forget, right? In a couple of days. But if you do it multiple times, then you will remember it, right? So practice, practice, practice. Doing the labs is very important. What next topic? CDP done. Let's take up DHCP. Is that okay? Let's take up DHCP. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Everybody knows DHCP? Yeah, who doesn't know? Please tell me I don't know. Raise your hand. I mean, don't raise your hand, but you can tell me. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, right? DHCP means DORA, DORA. So we have a switch, we have an end user, a client, DHCP client, and we have, let's say, a DHCP server, right? So somebody is going to configure the server and put in a range of IP addresses, maybe hundreds or thousands or lakhs, whatever, right? From them, it will keep
सर
on giving.
इंटरप्ट
Yeah.
करना चाहूंगा एक
हाँ,
बार।
बोलो बोलो बोलो.
सर जैसे सीडीपी हो गया सिस्को डिवाइसेस के लिए,
हाँ.
एलएलडीपी सिस्को पे भी काम करता है ना?
Yes. It is open
Then
standards, means Cisco पे भी काम करेगा, नॉन सिस्को पे भी काम करेगा. Every
अगर
vendor.
अगर मिक्स डिवाइसेस हैं तो एलएलडीपी यूज कर सकते हैं, वो दोनों
Yes.
दिखा देगा।
बराबर है. If you have mixed devices, obviously what will you use? LLDP.
एलएलडीपी।
Because the one which is understood by everybody, है ना?
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
And remember one thing, even if you disable CDP or LLDP, end-to-end communication will happen. It will not stop. Is this clear to everybody?
यस।
Good. ठीक है. Good. Okay, now look, 9 o'clock in the morning, right? This guy comes in the office, he turns on his laptop or desktop, whatever it is, right? What happens? His LAN card gets activated. First, the PC will do post power on self-test. That means it's going to check all its internal hardware components, everything okay. My RAM, ROM, flash, whatever, right? A motherboard, and its LAN card will get activated, right? And then first thing it will do is, because the admin has configured it to take the IP address dynamically, right? And not statically, correct? You all know how the IP address can be given to the device. It can be given statically, that means we can give it, or it can be given dynamically, correct? Yes, everybody knows this. There's a setting, right? Let's go on our packet
यस सर।
tracing. So let's take a PC, right? I'm going to drag a PC here, right? Okay, let me take it here. Let me just take an auto cable and straight through cable and connect it. Now look, I go on the PC, desktop, look at this IP configuration, right? So if you want to give it, if you want a PC to take it automatically, that means dynamically from a DHCP server, you'll have to click here, right? It says DHCP failed, APIPA is being used. Okay. So this is a Windows OS. So APIPA means automatic private IP addressing is being used, right? So actually, when it doesn't get, and Windows is being used and it doesn't get an IP address from the DHCP server, maybe because he has lost connectivity with the DHCP server, or the DHCP server is not there, that will automatically take this address 169.254. Blah 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 blah. Getting it? 169 range. Look. This is Microsoft Funda, right? Nothing to do with our course. Requesting an IP address, it failed. So it takes some address from 169. Got it? But ignore this. We normally gave here statically. But in the company, the admin has lot of users, right? Hundreds and thousands of big companies. So he is not going to take everybody's laptop and start giving static IP addresses. It will be configured to DHCP, right? That means the company's LAN will have a DHCP server, and it will, the moment you connect, right, it will automatically get an IP address. The concept is clear, right? Now, So first it will, after booting up, right, LAN card is activated, it will send a DHCP, DHCP, sorry, DHCP discovery message. DORA stands for, D stands for discovery. Hello, this is my MAC address, right? And this is my IP address to begin with. I'm just born, I don't have a name. My parents gave my name Dhananjay after some time, right? When I was born, when in the hospital, right, my name was not Dhananjay. So my IP address was 000. That means I had no name. People must have called me, hello, Baba, right? Or, hello, baby, whatever, right? Bacha, child, whatever. But I didn't have a name. So initially my IP address is what? 0.0.00. So this is also known as what? RR, reverse address resolution protocol. That means layer 2 to layer 3 resolution. I know my MAC address, right? Can somebody assign me an IP address? Yeah. So that is DHCP discovery. Hello. So first the discovery message is what? Hello. Any DHCP server here? So that's a broadcast, right? So it will go to everybody. Switch will see it's a broadcast FFFF into destination and 255 into destination. But switch layer 2 will look only at FFFF colon FFFF colon FFF, right? So it will come on this port. You'll say, man, this is a, of course, you know, this MAC address will be, right? It will make an entry in its MAC address table, right? A is equal to F0/1, whatever. But it will look at the destination, which is FFFF. So it will make Xerox copies and give it to everybody. Now, all these guys are going to say, man, I am not a DHCP server, right? Hello, any DHCP server here, right? That's the message. This is my MAC address. Can somebody assign me an IP address? So these guys are going to say it's none of my job to assign you an IP address. So they'll not process it, they'll drop the packet, right? It will go to the DHCP server, right? Now, supposing somebody has configured here 192.168.1.0/24. That means now you know what? 192.168.1 from dot 1 up to dot 254 can be assigned by the DHCP server. And obviously it cannot assign this and it cannot assign 1.0 network IP address and the broadcast IP address, right? Correct? So it will give one IP address. So discovery is from the DHCP. This guy is the DHCP client. So he's sending first the DHCP discovery message to the server. Now next, the server will give a reply, right? It will say, it will give an offer. O stands for offer. OFFER, right? So offer will come like this in this direction. Okay, in the offer, in that the message will be, okay, I can give you maybe 10.1.1.2. Just an example, right? So discovery was from left to right, from the client to the server, right? Discovery was from the client to the server. Offer is from the server to the client. And next, now DOR. What is R? R stands for request. Yeah. R stands for so the client sends a request message to the DHCP server, says, hello, I love this IP address. Please assign me, right? You can assign it to me, right? And then finally, the server will assign it to the acknowledgement, right? Whatever, acknowledgement packet. It will say, okay, so I assign it to you. Are you getting it? Discovery, offer, request, and acknowledgement. So that is how this DHCP works. These are the four message types that are exchanged between a DHCP client and a DHCP server. Now let's do the practical, right? It will assign it for, I think, normally 24 hours, right? It assigns IP address. What all? Subnet mask. What more? Default gateway. If configured, the IP address of the DNS server. If not configured, then these guys are going to give DNS broadcast, right? Hello, any DNS server here like this. And what more? Right? Something like this. Okay. Okay. Let's do the practical now. Is that okay? Can we do the practical? Look. Well, everybody here. अभी तक सब ठीक है? Everybody listening?
Yes, sir.
So, kare practical. Let's do the practical. Now, look.
Yes.
I am taking a small network here. R1, switch 1, and PC. So I can make this R1 router as a DHCP server, and I can make the switch and the PC as a DHCP client. So I want these two devices, this switch, and this PC, to automatically get an IP address from the router. This is one way of doing it. Alternatively, we could have configured the switch to act as a. So what we are doing here is we are configuring the router to act as a DHCP server. Got it? Actually, a DHCP server will be connected to the switch here in real life. But I am telling you how we configure our Cisco iOS devices to act as a DHCP server and client. Right? So I am trying to configure this router to act as a DHCP server. And I am trying to configure the switch and the PC to act as a DHCP client. So I want these two devices to get automatically an IP address from this DHCP server. That means R1. Alternatively, I could have gone and configured the switch as a DHCP server, and I would have made this R1 routers, this port gigabit 001, to act as a DHCP client and get the IP address from the switch. And this PC also DHCP client, so it will also get an IP address from the switch. We can do it either way. We can configure the switch to act as a DHCP server, or we can configure the router to act as a DHCP server. One of the two things, right? So क्या करें बोलो? Should I configure the router to act as a DHCP server? Yes. And then the switch and PC को मिल जाएगा. And R2, this gigabit 000 also, I will make it a DHCP client. So R1 will give it to R2 also, right? Apart from switch 1 and RTR. What is this, Naval? RTR. Hello, Naval.
Router को बोल रहा है सर.
Router to
Sir,
router.
router बोल रहा हूँ sir.
Okay,
Actually,
oh,
I'm in
sorry,
office,
router. Okay,
so
sorry.
I'm not able to speak.
No problem, no problem. Router. Okay, good. So we'll configure R1 to act as the DHCP server. Now, what are the commands? Do you have that command book in front of you? The word. One sec, I am stop sharing. Right? I have stopped sharing. I want that. What? I want that command. This thing, man. Word document. Where is that? Housekeeping commands, right? Okay, good. Thank you. So now where are we? Okay. Can you see my screen now? Yeah? Yeah. So everybody has got these commands? Yeah. So we have done all these things, right? I don't think we have missed any command here. Copy and start or WR, write, right? Shortcut. Erase startup, reload, right? Show CDP neighbors detail. I have given only one command. But show CDP, I have shown you everything, right? Now SSH will do after this. Remember, remind me to do SSH also, right? SSH, okay. And NTP syslog will do later on. TFTP will do later on. Where DHCP, look at this. First, what we are going to do is, I'm going to say which address not to give, right? And then I'm going to create a pool from the global mode. The pool name can be anything, right? Because I used to take classes for Capgemini. right? But okay, I mean, it's okay. So we can give it anything here, NSGT, right? Or XYZ or Monkey Donkey, anything, pool name, right? It's just a pool name. And what network would you like to advertise, right? From which subnet or network? And what will be the default gateway for those clients, right? And something like this. Got it? So now look at this. You should keep this Word file ready, right? Every day with you only and the topics. Is that okay? Now look, we are on which router? R1. Enable, right? And I will go to the switch first. We have given an IP address. Look at the bottom. I think we have given one. What is it? Man, sometimes I don't know why it doesn't show me. I think 40, we have given to gigabit 1 port 4111, right? Gigabit 1 port 4111. So switch is 4112, I guess, right? And this is 4113 then. So we haven't given it. Oh, good. So to PC, I just took it, right? And I was showing you this. Okay. So I haven't given it. I have made it a DHCP client now. Got it? That's it. Just, it was here actually static, but I have made it a DHCP client. That's it done. So later on, it will get it, right? It will automatically get it. Don't worry. Let's close this. Let me go to the switch. And how can I check? What's the command to check the IP address of this guy? This switch? Show. Yeah, who can tell me? Show. Interface VLAN 1, right? Because we give it to interface VLAN 1 only, right? This is the address. Show interface VLAN 1. Remember, it's a switch. So 4112 we have given. So how can I remove this? Show run. Look at this. Go in the end down below. Look at this. Interface VLAN 1 IP address, right? So how can we remove this? We are at the privilege mode, so we can say configure terminal and interface VLAN 1, and we'll say no IP address. That's it. So do show interface VLAN 1. Look, now I don't see that 40 here. It was somewhere here. See that? Gone. Now what we'll do is we'll give a command. I want to make it a DHCP client. So I'll say IP address DHCP. That's it. Got it? So now this has become a DHCP client. Do show interface VLAN 1. So it will still not get an IP address. Why? Because the DHCP server itself is not configured. Okay, we want to keep this in 4110 subnet, right? Because this interface gigabit 1 is also in 4111/24, right? So we'll give that subnet. Okay. So let's first go to the global mode, config T, and IP DHCP excluded address. See, don't give 40.1.1.1, right? Why? Because I have given it statically to the router's interface. Got it? And maybe I can give a range. Don't give from 41.1 to 40.1.1. Maybe 50. Because we want to, right? We have some devices like servers or some important devices, right? So for them, we are going to do it statically. This is just an example, right? So that means assign from 41.1, 51 onwards up to 254. Understood, guys? Just an example. Okay, what you could have just said one IP address, right? Need not be a range also. Got it? So whichever you want, we can keep it. So if you want to give just one address, this was enough, right? And if you want to say that one, then that range will be there, right? Got it? So for now, we have given a range. And now IP, DHCP, create a pool. Look, excluded address we give before even creating the pool. Imagine my daughter is tomorrow from school. She has finished the school and tomorrow will be her first day to go in the college. As a father, what will I say to my daughter? Hey, my dear daughter, tomorrow is going to be your first day in the college. You are going to travel far off, right? 20, 30 kilometers. And now school days are over. Tomorrow is going to be your first day. But imagine, so far, what not to do, I'm going to tell her. So be careful outside your college, right? There are going to be some, we read in the newspaper, all over, let's say in this city, all over outside the colleges, there are some drug peddlers. So there will be people who are not from your enrolled in your college, but they are drug peddlers, right? They sell drugs. They'll try to make friendship with you, and they'll offer you some free drugs, something, right? Please don't eat anything, right, from strangers, right? Don't accept they are drugs. What not to do? So which address first not to assign? And now I am going to create a pool, IPDCP pool. So pool can be anything, XYZ, right? Or Mango Tango, right? Or, right? NSGT, right? A wonderful training learning platform, right? Okay. And now what, if you don't know what to do, give a question mark, right? Right. From which network we want to assign IP addresses or subnet. So we'll type your network. And what was it that we planned? Maybe it is from this subnet. Now you all understand this? Subnet IP address and 255.255.255.0, right? Because we are already given 41 on 1 and 22255 on the router's interface. Got it? So we are going to give from this. And what more? We don't have to give all. Default router. Look, we don't have to remember also. DE tab. Default router. What should be the default gateway for all these devices? What should be the default gateway of this guy? It has to be this one, 41 on 1. Correct? What should be the default gateway of this guy? It has to be 41 on 1. Correct? So, on the router, I will say 40.1.1.1. To everybody, assign this as a default gateway. Got it? And if you have a DNS server, let us say 40.1.1.10, then you can type this and type DNS server, right? 40.1.1. Assuming we have one, right? But I'm not given this. And nothing else is important here, right? So domain name also you can give, because both of them have to be in the same domain, but don't worry. So this much is enough. Got it? Okay. Okay. So now look at this. Do show run. This is R1. We just gave this command IP DHCP exclude address, correct? And then we created a DHCP pool. Oh man. Okay, XYZ, I should remove it anyway. Two pools are not required. And IP DHCP pool, NSGT. Okay, this is it. Assuming that XYZ we didn't give, right? So only focus on this. So assign from this subnet, and this should be the default gateway. That's it, guys, done. So should I go from the global mode and say, I'm trying to remove that XYZ command. Control A, no, right? Gone. Do show run. So we have only one pool. Okay. Tab. I don't want to go ahead. Let's close this router. Let's go on the switch. Does it have an IP address? Does the PC have an IP address? Well, look at this. 41 and 51. It has got it. See that? But it doesn't have a default gateway. That's wrong. Problem. So let's check. Why no default gateway, man? This is a problem. So there's some problem here. Look at this again. Requesting an IP address. DHCP request successful. Look at this. 41.151. Subnet mask 22255 and default gateway. It is now got it correctly. Right? So it's working. Congratulations. Now let's go and try on the switch. Right? Look at this. You got a syslog message. DHCP address assigned to interface VLAN 1, right? What is the address assigned to this guy? .52. Got it? Yes? Check. Do show I interface VLAN 1. Look at this.
सॉरी सर, थोड़ा सा रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
हाँ,
मेरा
बोलो।
नेटवर्क चला गया अभी।
यस 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 यस। बोलो कहाँ से रिपीट करूं? ये देखो,
ये सर
द
जहाँ से
स्विचेस।
आपने वो
हाँ
था ना अभी कमांड एक्सक्लूड करने वाला,
हाँ ओके.
वो
So
मैं
look,
पूछ रहा था कि जैसे एक रेंज दिया हमने एक्सक्लूड करने का
हाँ
40 से 50,
हाँ
तो ऐसा कर सकते हैं क्या 1 से 10 और 40 से 50 यूज ना करें?
हाँ कर सकते हैं. You can again give a IP DHCP exploit address command and 40.1.1.60 to 40.1.170. You give two commands like that. Make two ranges. Is that okay?
ओके, मल्टीपल कमांड दे सकते हैं
हाँ
उसमें.
मल्टीपल कमांड दे सकते हैं. ठीक है.
ओके.
So now
ओके.
what we did is we went on the PC and we just right, it didn't get the default gateway. Could be a software issue or whatever. So I again clicked on static and I again clicked on DHCP. Now it has got the default gateway also. ये ठीक है PC का. Yes. So automatically मिल गया. Right? Did you see this? Yes. Did you see this? I click on static, gone. I again click on DHCP. So look, requesting an IP address, DHCP request successful. So it has got 40.1.151, 222.550 subnet mask, and look at the default gateway, 41 and 1, correct? So this is done. And the switch also we just saw that it also has got an IP address. Do show interface VLAN 1. It has got 41.152/24, right? Now look at this interface VLAN 1. What is the MAC address of this interface? It's a logical port, right? This is the MAC address, correct? Copy. I look at the last one, 4B60. Last quartet, right? 4B60, whatever. So I'll just take a sticky note and paste it here. Control V. See that? Remember this. And let's go and check this guy's MAC address. How do you check the MAC address? We'll go to command prompt. And what's the command? IP config space slash all. Right? So this is the physical address, right, of the PC. I'm going to copy this. What is this? 97E9. I just look at the last quartet. 97E9. I'm going to sticky note it, paste it here. Whatever it is. Control V. Is this clear, guys? So look, this guy has got what address? Whatever address, man. I don't know. 41.1. This guy has got 41.151, right? So he has got 41.52, correct? Forty dot one dot 52, correct? And this guy has got 40.1.1.51. Is that right? Yes. So let's go and check on the router. Show IP DHCP binding. Look at this. Who is 51? 97E9. Who is 51? 97E9. See that? Correct? The PC. Who is 52? 4B60 is that guy's MAC address. Yeah? 4B60. 52, correct? So it when it notes down in DHCP table, it says to this MAC address, I have given this IP address, right? The DHCP server notes it down. To this MAC address, I have assigned this IP address. And to this MAC address, I have assigned this IP address. Is it clear? Lease is normally for 24 hours. Yes. Understood DHCP? Very simple. Can you do this? You want to do it now? I can wait for a couple of minutes. If you want, you can do it. Or whichever way you tell me. Do you want me to give you some time, 5-10 minutes to do this? Yes? Or you'll do it later on? Hello, hello. Am I audible? कोई है?
यस सर.
क्या करोगे?
मेरा खुद का नेटवर्क बार बार जा रहा था, तो
क्या हुआ?
नेटवर्क इशू आ रहा है मेरे को।
हाँ, नेटवर्क इशू आ रहा है, ओ सॉरी। व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स?
We'll do it later.
ओके फाइन, सो लेट मी कंटिन्यू विथ माय फ्लो। राइट, अभी मैंने देखो, आई हैव जस्ट रिमूव दिस केबल, राइट, मैंने केबल निकाल दिया। तो आई वांट टू शो यू फर्दर इन DHCP, राइट। आई वांट टू टेक वन मोर स्विच here now, right, and I want to take one more PC. In fact, I will take some PC here, one more PC here, right? Okay. And I would like to now connect cables from here to the switch, switch to the PC, and this PC also to switch, right? So let's go on this PC and desktop and make him a DHCP client. Is that okay? See, I made him requesting an IP address, right? I made it a, but because this switch port will take 30 seconds, right, to come in the forwarding mode. So it's a listening learning mode. So DHCP has failed. See, let this orange, amber, they call it amber, right? We call it orange. Let it become green, and then I'll do it. And then it will get an, it's green now. See? Sorry. And now DHCP requesting an IP address. Look, it has got 41 and 53. Okay. So this one has also got some IP address. That's okay. Everybody will get it there. Nothing to worry. Even if you have 200 pieces there, they will all get it. Now, the issue is this guy. We want to, this guy also, I wanted to make him a DHCP client, right? So I want it to also get an IP address from the DHCP server. Look, requesting IP address, but it will failed, right? APIPA. So it's automatically taking that Microsoft 169, which we don't want that, right? And I want to make this guy also as a DHCP client. So how do I make this guy as a DHCP client? I'll go and say here, enable, configure terminal, interface VLAN 1, IP address, DHCP. That's it, right? So I don't have to say no shut also. Do show IP interface brief. Do I have to say? Yes, I have to say interface VLAN 1. Otherwise, big problem. Actually, in the olden iOS version, this was enabled by default, but now disabled from the factory, right? Anyway, so enable it. But now, do show IP, do show interface VLAN 1. So it will not get an IP address. This is up and up, but I don't see any IP address here. So now, look, these guys are directly connected to the DHCP server, but these guys are not directly connected to the DHCP server. Getting it? They will not get an IP address like this. So what you have to do is, what we are going to do is, look at this. We made this DHCP server. This is, let us say, 40.1.1.1. This is, I think, 10.1.1.1. This is 10.1.2. I don't know what this is, right? Now we are talking about this. This guy has got it. This guy has got it. This guy also has got it, right? Now, these guys, I want them to get an IP address, but they're not getting it right now. Why? Because this is 10.1.1.0/24. And what is this? Gigabit 001. 21 on 1. Okay. So I want these guys to get it from 21 on 1, correct? This guy should get it from 21 on 1. So, sorry. So, sticky note. This, ignore that, right? Ignore that, about 20. So, this guy should get it from 1.1.0 24, right? These guys. Forget that 20, right? I've got that port here. Forget R3 for the time being. So now, have I made this guy as the DHCP client? Have I said I press DHCP? Have I said? Yes. We have made the switch as a DHCP client, nothing to worry. PC also, I think we have made it a DHCP client, right? But it's not getting it. So now we'll have to go on the router and create one more pool. And in that pool, we'll have to give this subnet 20. Got it? Look at this. IP DHCP pool. Sorry, pool. And what was the command? I don't know. So we'll give it ABC, some name, right? And I'll say, man, I forgot to give that IP DHCP extrude address, right? Okay, that's okay. So now it's gone, my mistake. Network. So what not to do? Give 20.1.1.1 not to give, right? Network. Oh, I have to give it from 2110 and what subnet mask? Give this subnet mask, right? And what will be the default gateway? 20.1.1.1. Correct? Done? Now, will it get it? No, still not getting it. Still not getting it. Why? Because when these guys sends a broadcast, when they send a broadcast, if the PC sends a DHCP broadcast, it will go to the switch. Switch will receive it in this port and forward it from this port. It's a broadcast. It will reach the router's gigabit 1 port. But you know from day one that the routers never forward broadcast, correct? So it will never forward it. So it will never go to this DHCP server. So the DHCP server R1 will never be able to give it to them. So what's the solution? We go under this port, router 2, remember, gigabit 1 port, from where it has received the DHCP request. Let's go there, below that port. How? Enable. Configure terminal, interface, gigabit, 0/0/. Which port is that? 1 port, right? Let's go to this port. Gigabit 001 port, right? 1 port, correct? And now I'm going to give an IP helper. I need some help. Helper address. And now I'm going to give the DHCP server's IP address. I'm going to go under this port and give IP helper address and the DHCP server's IP address. What is that? It can be either this, what? 10.1.1 or it can be 41.1. It can also be 1.1.1.1, right? But then we have to configure routing between the two routers, right? I hope RIP is configured. I'm not sure. Does it have 20 in its routing table? Check the routing table. Do show IP route. So if you have configured RIP, yes. So it knows 20, right? And this guy has 1 dot, if we have advertised 1 here, or 40 dot network, or 10 is connected, right? So 40 must be there, right? IP helper address. So which do you want to give? Tell me. This address 10.1.1 or this one 41.1? You tell me. Should I give this difficult one 41.1? This is nearer for this guy, but this is a bit further away. So you can give here IP helper address either 10.1 or 41.1, whichever you want. Bolo, kaun sa dena hai? Tell me which one should I give? I can give 10.1.1.1 or I can give 40.1.1.1, which is still away. So I'll give this. Now what happens? Why did we give this address? What is the logic? So when this router receives a broadcast, DHCP broadcast from this PC or anybody else, or this switch on this port, it will convert that broadcast into a unicast and send it to whatever address you said, 41.1.1. It will look at the routing table and say 41.1 is to go from my gigabit 0. So it will go here, and then this guy, it will look at what is the source address. So look what happens. This is a bit something that we need to understand, right, properly. We have only less time left, but this will be complete today. Right? It can be completed. Look, it receives a broadcast on this port. This is what? 20.1.1.1. This is 10 on 1, this is 41, right? And it will not forward the broadcast. So when it receives the broadcast, what was the message that came? I am 0.0.0.0 and destination address was 255.255.255.255, right? And the source MAC address was, let's say, AAA, right? And the destination was FFFF, right? That's a broadcast, right? So what it will do is, it cannot forward the broadcast, right? It will look at this. It cannot. So it will convert that broadcast into a unicast and then send it to the DHCP server like this. But when it sends it, what it will do is it will take the source IP address as this. Source as 20.1.1.1. And IP helper address command, what did you give? 41.1. So it will make the destination as 40.1.1.1. It will look at its routing table. Routing table says send from this port. Now with this source and this destination, it will send it to this router. And he is the DHCP server, right? Now he will look at the message and assign to this or that, whatever, right? It will give a reply back to this guy. He'll just forward it to this guys, this one or this one. Are you getting it? Now, when the router says, man, I got two pools, NSGT pool, which is 40.1.1.0 and XYZ pool, which is 20.1.1.0. So I got 10 pools. From which pool should I assign? Which pool? So what is the source IP address? It is coming from 20, 21 and 1. 20 will come in which pool? Will it come in NSGT pool? No. It will come in XYZ pool. So I'm going to assign from this pool. Are you getting the logic? Then it will assign it and therefore these guys will get an IP address. You get this point? This R1 is going to convert the broadcast into a unicast and then send it to the router. And IP helper address, he already told R1 who's the DHCP server. It is 40.1.1.1 or 10.1.1.1. आ गया समझ में? Yes, guys. Look, on R2 you said you went below that port, which is connected to a switch down below, and you told convert that broadcast into a unicast and send it to this is the DHCP server. This could have been 10.1.1 also, right? And now look, has this guy got an IP address? Let's check. I don't think so. There's no syslog message. Do show interface VLAN 1. Any command missing? I think I'm missing something. What is it? Is it enabled? Yeah, is it up and up? Yeah, it's up and up. So I will say once shutdown and no shut. I don't know. Just trying it. It should have got it by now, right? But anyway, let's check. Some mistake somewhere. Is routing working? Do show IP route. 40 must be in my network, right? Otherwise it will not work. This is switch? Man, where am I? Where am I? I'm on the switch. Do show interface LAN 1. That should be my command. Do show interface VLAN 1. No, I'm not getting it. Okay, we'll get it. Let's check. I don't know what's wrong. Let's check on this guy. This guy has also not got it. So some command is missing somewhere, right? Let's check. Can the PC get it? Requesting. No, this one is also not getting. So I think I'm missing some command somewhere. What is it? Which one? Even I don't know. So let's go and troubleshoot. Have we configured the second pool here? Do show run. Yes, we have two pools now. NSGT 40, which was and ABC for 2110, right? Default route is also given, correct? So nothing to worry. This is okay. Now, helper address command have you given under this port? Gigabit 1. Let's check. Yes, we have given. I can see this, right? We can see this. Do so. Go and check under gigabit 1 port. It's given here. Let's check the routing table. Have we configured, sorry, the routing protocol? We have configured RIP here 10 and 20, correct? We have configured RIP here 10 and 20, right? Correct? Look, 10 and 20. Have we, what is this? 10 and 40 and also 1. But 1 is loop back. That's okay. So let's check this guy. What have we configured? RIP. Hey, look at this. I forgot to give 40 here. See that? See that? Can you troubleshoot now? This guy doesn't have 40 in his routing table. See? Do show IP route or route. It doesn't have 40. It has only 1. Why it doesn't have 40? Because the one who owns 40 has not advertised. So you go there and advertise 40. Things should work. Look. How do you do that? Router. Actually, I would have said exit and come to the global mode and then I would have typed. It's okay. Sorry, router, RIP. And network 40.0.0. Because it's a class A. That's it, guys. Nothing to worry. Do show, run. Look at this. Now we advertise all the 3 directly connected ones. Now let's go and check here. Now they should get it. Right? What's the command? Do show interface VLAN 1. Ab to mil ja bhai. Now you should get it. I don't know why it's not getting it. Now what more? Funda. I can't think of anything. Ek to dhoond liya. Hey, look at this. This guy's got it. 21 and 2. See? If this guy can get it, then see? Mil gaya na? Got it. Requesting. See? That means DHCP is working. Yes or no? Why is the switch not getting it? He should also get it. Ah, see? It took some time. It has also got an IP address of 2113. Got it? Yeah? Do show interface VLAN 1. Now it has got it. Yes, guys. DHCP is over. Understood DHCP? Any questions, any doubt? So I'm glad we could finish today DHCP and LLDP. At least 2. LLDP was a small topic, but DHCP is a bit sometimes. Now I tell you where you are going to commit mistakes, right? In the labs, it won't work. Many people will complain tomorrow, man, my lab didn't work, right? I tried it at home, but it didn't work. I worked for 1 hour. It didn't work. And I'll tell you why it didn't work. The probability of where you are going to commit mistakes, right, is somebody might configure first IP DHCP pool, right? ABC here, right? And network, blah, 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 and default router, blah, blah, or this IP address. That's okay. But somebody by mistake will create the second pool here, right? Remember, there is only one DHCP server. Both the pools have to come on this router only. And not the second pool should not come here. Are you getting the point? That's how we have done the lab. Right? So please don't go here and say IP, DHCP, external address, IP, DHCP pool, XYZ. Right? One mistake possible is this. Secondly, the helper address. Somebody will, instead of giving on this port, instead of giving it here, somebody will go under this port, which is connected to this router, and give helper address command here. Right? Again, it won't work. Got it? These are some probable mistakes which you will commit. This is directly connected LAN, right? So under this, please don't go and give that IP helper address. No, it is not required here. It is required for those in whose LAN the DHCP server is not present. So for them, it is remotely. Understood? Likewise, you can take one more router and you can also try and give them, right? Make this 70 dot, 80 dot, create one more pool, right? PQR, and you can give 80 dot, and similarly, you can. Likewise, it's okay. I mean, you can do it for this, and that also. But if you have done this, understood, you can do for this also. Okay, guys, time is almost over. I hope everybody understood. You have to practice. Any problems, any questions, please ask. These are on R1, but the helper address is not on R1, it is on R2. See that? But you have to create here one more pool, don't forget. Kar loge? Understood?
Good night.
Good night, good night.